Imagine finding a coin in a jar in your home and not knowing that what you hold could change everything. That is the hook for today on Coin Value Guide, where every discovery could be a fortune and every ordinary-looking coin could be hiding an extraordinary story. And today we are diving deep into two coins that sound ordinary until you learn what makes them priceless and what to do if you find one in your pocket or in a drawer. And stay with me, because the revelations that follow will be full of suspense and practical steps, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coin Value Guide to join our community of collectors and treasure hunters. Step 1. Prepare yourself for a story of rarity and skill and patience. First, we set the scene and then we will pull back the curtain on the two coins that will keep collectors awake at night. Step 2. Meet the coins. 1. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, valued in our spotlight at $7 million, and 2. The 1953 Denver Lincoln wheat penny, valued in our spotlight at $10 million. Two astonishing numbers and both dependent on condition, variety, provenance, and market demand. But before we reveal the secrets that could make these exact coins reach such values, let us build the map that leads from pocket change to multi-million-dollar auction results. Pause here and imagine for a moment the ordinary that hides the extraordinary. Hold that thought, because we will return to it in a way that will change how you treat coins forever. Now, step by step, we begin with the first coin, the one and only 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. First, the history in brief. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced to replace the larger Eisenhower dollar and to provide an easily cashed modern small-size dollar that honored suffrage leader Susan B. Anthony. The coin was produced in massive numbers for circulation and for collectors, so on the surface it is common, but common does not mean worthless. Step by step we examine physical specifications, because in numismatics the numbers matter. The Susan B. Anthony dollar has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters. The thickness is approximately 2 millimeters, and the weight is about 8.1 grams. The composition is a copper core with outer layers of an alloy composed largely of copper and nickel. This metallic fingerprint helps experts confirm authenticity and helps detect wrong planche errors. Step by step, here is how collectors spot extraordinary examples. First, check the mint mark and the overall strike. Study the rim and the relief. Look for doubling on the devices or letters. Find misstrikes and off-center strikes and inspect for repunched mint marks and die cracks. Any of these anomalies can elevate a common date into a collector rarity, and if the coin is also in exceptional condition, the price can jump dramatically. But before we reveal specific high-value varieties, we must talk about professional grading, because nothing in modern numismatics moves without official certification. Pause here and consider the grading services as gatekeepers, because PCGS and NGC are the two most trusted third-party grading companies in the world, and both provide authentication, encapsulation, and a grade that buyers trust and collectors respect. Step by step, here is how grading affects price. A raw coin, even if perfect to the naked eye, must be submitted for grading to access the highest marketplaces. When PCGS or NGC assign a grade, like Mint State 61 through Mint State 70, the market responds with a price based on supply and demand, and on population reports. If only a handful of 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars exist at MS70, then collectors will fight in auction rooms and online to acquire that gem, and those bidding wars drive headlines and multi-million-dollar records. Now, the first cliffhanger and reveal. Remember the value we promised. For the Susan B. Anthony dollar is $7 million, and that number is realistic only in a very narrow scenario. A coin with a true mint error or a unique die variety, combined with an immaculate MS70 grade, a pristine, attractive eye appeal, and a documented provenance that connects it to a famous find or collection, is what the marketplace would prize and push into the millions. Pause and breathe, because the next step is practical. If you ever find a Susan B. Anthony dollar that looks unusual, do not clean it, do not polish it, and do not handle the surfaces with bare fingers. Instead, place it in a soft protective sleeve. Photograph it under neutral daylight, include close-ups of both sides and the edge, and then reach out to knowledgeable collectors or dealers for an initial opinion. Step by step, your options for selling include major auction houses and private treaty sales. First, the auction route places a coin before a global audience. Houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack S. Bowers, and similar firms have specialized numismatic departments and can produce illustrated catalogs online and in print, and they can market a coin to collectors around the world. Consignment is common, and sellers can set reserves to protect minimum expectations. Second, the private sale route connects sellers with wealthy collectors and dealers in negotiated transactions. Sometimes a private treaty sale can fetch more than public auction if the buyer values the coin for investment or exhibition reasons, but you need provenance and third-party grading to unlock the highest offers. If you attempt to sell to a local coin shop or pawn shop, you will almost always receive a small fraction of true market value because these buyers factor in immediate resale and risk and do not chase the million-dollar bids. Step by step, here's how to prepare a valuable Susan B. Anthony dollar for sale. First, obtain third-party grading by PCGS or NGC, because the slab encapsulation gives buyers confidence. Second, build documentation, photograph the coin with scale and provide any provenance. Third, secure professional photography for auction listings. Fourth, choose your sales venue based on the coin's profile. And fifth, insure the coin during transit and consignment to protect value. Now, before we move to the second coin, here are authentic numismatic insights that apply to both coins and to serious collectors. Always use the language collectors use. Use terms like obverse and reverse to describe. Sides, use the term die variety when referring to differences created by the die, and use the term struck on wrong plancher to describe plancher errors, and use the concept of population reports to evaluate scarcity. In other words, speak the collector language, because buyers listen to confident, informed sellers, and collectors rely on trusted data. Now, a brief cliffhanger, because the second coin will illustrate the power of scarcity and condition like nothing else. And if you think the first coin was surprising, wait for the next reveal step by step. Now we move to the 1953 Denver Lincoln Wheat Penny historical context. The Lincoln cent, first issued in 1909, continued through the wheat reverse era, approximately 1909 through 1958, and the 1953 Denver strike carries the D-mint mark, which is of crucial importance to collectors at circulation grade. The coin is common, but again, certain varieties in perfect condition can create alchemy. Step-by-step physical specifications for the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny are the following. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters. The thickness is approximately 1.55 millimeters, and the weight is about 3.11 grams. The composition is primarily copper at 95%, with the remainder being tin and zinc. These specifications are the baseline for authenticity and for identifying altered or counterfeit pieces. Step by step, how rare varieties occur for Lincoln Wheat Pennies. The most famous high-value errors historically are doubled dies and extremely off-center strikes and repunched mint marks, and in a few cases struck through foreign material, which creates unique visual interest. Collectors prize these anomalies because they are tangible mistakes from the minting process that cannot be duplicated easily, and that record a single moment in production history. Now here comes a dramatic cliffhanger before the full reveal. Take a deep breath, because the valuation we assigned to the 1953 Denver Lincoln Wheat Penny in our spotlight is $10 million. And that valuation again depends on uniqueness and condition, and on an extraordinary convergence of factors. First, an identifiable one-of-a-kind error or die variety. Second, a perfect certified grade such as MS 73rd. Confirmed provenance connecting the coin to a famous hoard or discovery. And fourth, market circumstances where multiple deep-pocket collectors desire the piece. Step by step, if you believe you own such a coin, the first actions to take mirror the Susan B. Anthony protocol. Do not clean the coin and do not disturb it. Do document it with high-resolution photographs, and then consult with an experienced rare coin dealer or a numismatic researcher who can help assess the possibility of a true rarity, and assist with submitting the coin to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Pause, and imagine the sealed moment when graders reveal the assigned grade, and then unfold the next steps, because when the grade is revealed, collectors and auction houses will begin to position the coin for sale. Step by step, how grading works at PCGS and NGC. Both companies use multi-person teams to evaluate strike luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal. and they place the coin in a sealed plastic holder that shows the grade and a certification number. This slab number can be verified online on population reports, which list how many examples achieve each grade, and how many examples are known with that exact variety and grade, and the mathematics of scarcity combined with market demand determines the price. Step-by-step practical tips for submission to grading services. Begin with careful cleaning rules. Avoid cleaning, however, because even a gentle cleaning can remove patina or natural toning and destroy value. Instead, package the coin securely with gloves and bubble wrap and submit, using an insured tracked method. Follow PCGS or NGC submission guidelines and select a service tier that matches estimated value, because if the coin is very rare, use the fastest secure tier to ensure safe handling and tracking. Now, a necessary cliffhanger about provenance and pedigrees. Pedigrees drive value, because a coin that belonged to a celebrated collection or that can be traced to a historical find carries story and trust, and collectors will pay premiums to own part of a famous collection. Step-by-step, building a provenance record involves assembling purchase receipts, letters or catalogs, photographs and any published references. If the coin has appeared in numismatic journals or auction catalogs, include scanned copies and dates, and the names of consignors and previous buyers. Now, a section on selling strategy and places where real collectors go. Step-by-step auction houses are the global stage, and the brands that command attention include Heritage Auctions, Stack S. Bauer's Great Collections, and similarly reputable houses that handle top-level numismatic material. Consignment to these firms gives you access to international bidders and professional marketing and high-resolution listings and often printed catalogs, which appeal to serious buyers. The alternative is a private sale, which can be facilitated by well-known dealers who specialize in registry-quality coins and private treaty networks, and private sales can be faster and can protect privacy. Step-by-step online marketplaces should be used with caution for high-value coins, because platforms like eBay attract a wide audience, but also include risk and disputes, and the highest value coins are rarely sold successfully on open marketplaces without prior certification and careful escrow arrangements. Step-by-step secure transfer and escrow for high-value transactions must include insured courier services, signature-required return policies, and escrow services recommended by professional numismatic organizations, and whenever possible, use well-established payment methods that provide protection for both buyer and seller, such as bank-to-bank wire with appointment-based release and professional escrow agents. Now, some real-world numismatic terminology and techniques you must know to speak confidently to buyers and graders. First, the term luster describes the way light reflects off the coin's surface and is a critical component of eye appeal. Second, the term strike refers to the sharpness of the design detail, and a weak strike can lower value even if the surfaces are pristine. Third, the term plancher refers to the blank metal disc before striking, and wrong plancher examples can be extremely valuable. Fourth, the term die break or die crack refers to the physical deterioration of the die that produces raised metal lines on a coin, which can be diagnostic of certain varieties. And fifth, the term toggle nameplate provenance and pedigree are terms collectors use when describing the documented lineage and ownership history of a coin. Step by step. Now we address common questions that create suspense in real life. What if I found a coin in my change, and it looks valuable? Do not rush to sell. Do not allow someone to pressure you into a quick transaction. Instead, photograph, packaging, and seek multiple opinions from professional numismatists, and if possible, send the coin to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading, because without a slab, your coin will be suspected and discounted. Step by step, what happens when grading yields a high grade? If the coin registers as a true rarity and receives a top grade, the coin will be listed on the grading service population report, and auction houses will reach out to the consignor or the consignor-S agent to discuss marketing, estimates, reserve setting, and timing for sale, and the coin may be included in specialist auctions or premier sessions reserved for trophy pieces. Pause for a storytelling cliffhanger, because imagine standing in an auction hall while the hammer falls and the room erupts after a $7 million or $10 million sale. That is the crescendo to which all this preparation leads. Step by step, Let us be candid about fees and taxes when selling through auction houses. Expect seller fees, consignment, commissions, and buyer's premium, which are often shared between the auction house and the buyer and can reduce net proceeds, and consult a tax advisor, because capital gains taxes may apply based on your jurisdiction and sales structure, and proper documentation and timing can influence tax treatment. Step-by-step other important protections include having the coin professionally photographed with scale and high-resolution detail shots, and a formal condition report that notes any scratches, hairlines, or previous conservation work, because transparency in condition builds trust and protects both seller and buyer against disputes. Now, a practical checklist to follow. If you believe you own one of the two coins featured today, the checklist. Step by step is 1. Photograph the coin in natural light and document both sides. 2. Do not clean the coin. 3. Place the coin in a soft sleeve. 4. Seek an initial appraisal from an experienced rare coin dealer. 5. Consider independent research, including population reports and auction archives. 6. Submit to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. 7. If graded highly, consult auction houses for consignment or rare coin dealers for private treaty sales. 8. Insure the coin for full replacement value during transit and consignment. And 9. Consult a tax professional and legal counsel for the sales strategy and documentation. Now, the part in which we remind you to be involved as a viewer to help this channel grow, if you have enjoyed this deep dive into the Susan B. Anthony dollar and the 1953 Denver Lincoln wheat penny. Please take a moment to like the video and leave a comment telling us which coin you would keep and which you would sell, and subscribe to Coin Value Guide for more reveals and rare coin breakdowns. And if you want to help us decide the next coin to analyze, drop a comment with your suggestion and share this video with your collector friends and clubs. Now, a deeper explanation of market psychology and bidding dynamics, because price is not only math but emotion. Collectors chase rarity and beauty and story, and sometimes two wealthy collectors that both want the same unique coin will create a bidding environment that moves price into the millions. These are not everyday transactions, and they are fueled by prestige and competition, and sometimes by investment strategy. So whenever you consider selling, understand that timing matters, and that presenting the coin at the right sale with the right story can change the outcome dramatically. Step by step, we close with 5 last-minute professional tips. 1. Always maintain provenance records and document where you acquired the coin, and retain receipts and photographs. 2. Never ever clean or alter a coin. 3. Use PCGS and NGC for high-end authentication, and do your homework with their population reports. 4. If you receive an unsolicited offer, do not accept it until you speak with trusted advisors. And 5. Consider working with a numismatic attorney for top-tier sales to structure the transaction and protect proceeds. Now, the final cliffhanger and the reveal that brings us full circle. Remember the two coins in our spotlight, the Susan B. Anthony dollar from 1979, which in a narrow extraordinary case can be valued at $7 million, and the 1953 Denver Lincoln wheat penny, which in a narrow extraordinary case can be valued at $10 million. These numbers are not casual estimates but represent headline-level prices that occur when rarity, condition, provenance, and collector demand converge, and when professional grading confirms the story, and when the world of bidders recognizes the opportunity. Pause and hold the excitement, because if you are holding a coin that you suspect may be extraordinary, follow the step-by-step preparation checklist. Submit the candidate to PCGS or NGC and consult reputable auction houses for the best chance to realize the highest market value, and remember that the process can be emotional and complex. So build a support team of trusted advisors. Now, the final call to action. If this video gave you chills or opened your eyes to the possibility that ordinary coins can be extraordinary, please hit like and share this with a friend who loves coins, and subscribe to Coin Value Guide to stay on the inside track of rare coin discoveries and valuations, and ring the notification bell if you want to be the first to know when we post a new deep dive into coins and collectibles. And if you enjoyed the storytelling style, let us know, and we will do more of these cinematic deep dives into coin mysteries. Thank you for watching and for being part of Coin Value Guide, and stay tuned, because the next uncovered treasure could be the one that changes everything for you and for collectors around the world.